You are alone. No one believes in you, no one supports you, and everyone around you acts as if you were invisible. Well, that's exactly where Machiavelli wanted you to be. You spent years waiting for someone to recognize you, waiting for someone to say, "I believe in you." Waiting for approval, waiting for permission. And while you waited, time passed, opportunities passed, and the people you thought were by your side disappeared. That hurts. I know it hurts. But the pain is not the problem. The problem is what you did with that pain. You turned the absence of support into a death sentence. You looked around, saw that you were alone, and decided that it meant you weren't enough. Machiavelli wrote in The Prince more than 500 years ago, "He who depends on the goodwill of others builds on sand." You are building on sand. And every day you spend waiting for approval, the foundation cracks a little more. But here's what no one tells you. The loneliness you feel right now, it's not a curse, it's a weapon. And in this video, you're going to learn exactly how to use it. The truth is brutal. You're not failing because no one supports you. You're failing because you turned the lack of support into an excuse. This is not emotional weakness. This is a strategic error, and Machiavelli had the exact correction for it. In the next few minutes, you'll learn 6 Machiavellian principles that turn isolation into domination. Principle 1, the illusion of support. Principle 2, the inner fortress. Principle 3, the silent predator. Principle 4, the economy of energy. Principle 5, the phoenix effect. And Principle 6, the most dangerous of all, I'll save for the end. If you leave before that, you'll miss the one idea that can change the trajectory of your entire life. If this content makes sense to you, subscribe now. This channel is not for everyone. It's for the few who want to see the world as it really is. The illusion of support. You want me to tell you something that will hurt. Those people you called friends, those people who said, "I'm with you," those people who promised to help you, they were never there for you. They were there for themselves. This is called a covert contract. In psychology, a covert contract is an unspoken agreement where someone offers something, attention, help, presence, but expects something in return without ever verbalizing it. Your friends supported you as long as it made them feel superior, as long as your weakness fed their strength. The moment you started growing, the support evaporated. Why? Because you stopped being useful to their ego. Machiavelli understood this centuries ago. He wrote, "Men are so simple and so subject to present necessities that he who deceives will always find those who allow themselves to be deceived." You allowed yourself to be deceived. You believed support meant loyalty. But human support is transactional. It always has been, and always will be. This is not cynicism. This is biology. The human brain operates on calculated reciprocity. Basic neuroscience. We move closer to those who benefit us and away from those who cost us. So stop looking for support. Stop waiting for someone to believe in you. No one will believe in you until you've already won. And when you win, everyone will say they always knew your potential. Think of it like the savannah. The lion doesn't ask for permission to hunt. The lion doesn't wait for the hyena to approve its methods. The lion hunts, because that's what lions do. You don't need approval. You need movement. From now on, every time you feel the need to seek validation, ask yourself, does this move me forward or keep me in place? If it doesn't move you, cut it. But cutting the illusion of support is only the beginning, because once you accept that you are alone, you need to build something in place of the void. The inner fortress Machiavelli was obsessed with fortresses. In The Prince, he dedicated entire chapters to analyzing when to build walls and when to tear them down. But the most powerful fortress he described wasn't made of stone. It was made of discipline. Count to 3. 1, 2, 3. In that time, you just made at least 2 unconscious decisions. Your brain processed stimuli, filtered information, and directed your attention. Most of these decisions were made by your limbic system, the emotional, reactive part of the brain. You didn't choose, you reacted, and that's exactly how people without an inner fortress live. Reacting. Someone criticizes you, you react. Someone ignores you, you react. Someone doubts you, you react. Every reaction is a crack in the wall. Every uncontrolled emotion is an enemy inside the gates. The inner fortress is the ability to create space between stimulus and response. Viktor Frankl, a Holocaust survivor, said, "Between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space lies our power to choose our response." Machiavelli would say it differently. The prince who reacts is a servant to the one who provoked the reaction. So how do you build this fortress? 3 concrete actions. First, eliminate emotional reactivity. From today on, when someone provokes, ignores, or disrespects you, you don't react. You observe, you catalog, you store. Reaction is visible weakness. Observation is invisible power. Second, create rituals of solitude, not passive solitude, scrolling feeds and feeling sorry for yourself. Active solitude, reading, planning, strategic reflection. Machiavelli wrote his masterpieces in exile. Newton developed calculus during the plague quarantine. Productive solitude is the birthplace of everything extraordinary. Third, control the information that enters your mind. Your fortress has gates. Every piece of content you consume, every conversation you engage in, every person you allow into your life is someone entering those gates. Be ruthless about who enters. Ask yourself, who did you allow into your gates this week that didn't deserve to be there? Your fortress is being built, but a fortress without a strategy of attack is just a beautiful prison. The silent predator. This is where you become dangerous. In nature, the most lethal predator is not the strongest, not the fastest. It's the quietest. The crocodile waits for hours, days, without moving. When it attacks, the target doesn't even realize what happened. It's over. You're doing the opposite. You're announcing your plans, telling your dreams to people who secretly root against you, showing your cards before the game even begins. Every time you say, "I'm going to get rich," or "I'm going to change my life," you're giving strategic information to potential adversaries. Machiavelli warned, "Everyone sees what you appear to be. Few perceive what you really are." There's a concept in game theory called information asymmetry. Whoever has more information about the other has the advantage. When you reveal your plans, you eliminate your advantage. When you stay silent, you accumulate power. Observe the people around you. The ones who talk the most about what they'll do the least. And the ones who say the least are the ones who one day show up with results no one expected. That's not coincidence, that's strategy. From now on, you operate in silent mode. Your plans are yours, your goals are yours, your strategy dies with you, until the results speak for themselves. Don't say, "I'll start a business." Start a business. Don't say, "I'll get strong." Get strong. Don't say, "I'll change." Change. Let your results make the noise your mouth used to make. The silent predator understands something fundamental. Words are an inflated currency. Everyone has them. Everyone spends them. But action is gold. And gold is rare, because few are willing to pay the price to extract it. The economy of energy. You are wasting the most valuable resource you have. Not time, not money, energy, mental energy, emotional energy, vital energy. Every time you worry about what others think, you spend energy. Every time you stalk someone's Instagram who hurt you, you spend energy. Every time you replay a painful conversation at 3 a.m., you spend energy. Every time you try to convince someone of your worth, you spend energy. And here's the dark paradox. The people who don't support you are consuming more of your energy than the few who do. You dedicate more mental time to those who reject you than to those who accept you. That is strategic insanity. Machiavelli governed by a simple principle: never spend more resources defending a position than it is worth. If a battle costs more than the territory in dispute, abandon the territory, not out of weakness, but out of intelligence. Apply this to your life. That person who doesn't value you is not worth the energy of trying to convince them. That group that excluded you is not worth the energy of trying to fit in. That family member who doubts you is not worth the energy of proving anything. Psychology calls this the sunk cost fallacy. You keep investing energy in dead relationships because you've already invested so much and don't want to lose it. But the investment is already lost. Every extra second you spend is another second wasted. Think like a general. You have a limited army. Every soldier you send into a useless battle is a soldier unavailable for the battle that actually matters. The battle that matters is your personal construction, your growth, your evolution. Do this now. Mentally list 3 of the biggest sources of energy waste in your life. 3 people, 3 situations, 3 habits that consume more than they contribute. Now cut them. No warning, no explanation, no drama. Just disappear from those situations like smoke. Machiavelli cut unproductive alliances without ceremony. He understood that sentimentalism is the silent killer of every empire. Your personal empire cannot afford sentimentalism. The Phoenix effect. You're saving energy, you're building a fortress, you're operating in silence. But none of that matters if you don't master the next principle, the Phoenix effect. Every person who has built something extraordinary in this world has gone through a period of complete destruction, without exception. Machiavelli was imprisoned, tortured, exiled from Florence. He lost everything: status, power, influence, wealth. And what did he do in exile? He wrote The Prince, the work that would define political strategy for the next 500 years. He didn't write despite the destruction. He wrote because of it. That is the Phoenix effect. The phoenix does not rise despite the fire, it rises through the fire. The fire is not the obstacle, the fire is the process. And this is where psychology becomes fascinating. There is a documented phenomenon called post-traumatic growth. Researchers at the University of North Carolina discovered that individuals who go through extreme adversity often develop abilities that did not exist before the trauma. Greater resilience, greater clarity of purpose, greater focus. Pain literally rewires the brain. You are in your fire phase right now. No one believes in you. No one supports you. You feel invisible. Good. The fire is doing its job. It is burning everything that is weak in you, everything that is dependent, everything that is fragile. And what remains after the fire goes out? Something that cannot be destroyed. But, and pay very close attention here, the Phoenix effect is not automatic. Most people who go through the fire do not rise, they simply burn. The difference between burning and rising is one thing, and one thing only: intentional action during pain. While it hurts, you build. While it hurts, you study. While it hurts, you work. While it hurts, you move. Do not wait for the pain to pass to act. Act while the pain is present. Use the fire. Ask yourself right now, what am I building while I burn? If the answer is nothing, then you are not on a phoenix journey. You are just burning, and no one is going to put that fire out for you. Irrevocable sovereignty. Now we arrive at the final principle, the most dangerous one, the one I promised at the beginning. If you stayed until here, you deserve to hear this. Irrevocable sovereignty. This is the principle that separates those who watch videos from those who transform lives. Everything I've said so far, cutting illusions, building a fortress, operating in silence, saving energy, rising through fire, all of this is tactics. Important, yes. But tactics without a fundamental principle are like an army without a general. The fundamental principle is this: you must decide, irrevocably, that no one's opinion about you has authority over your reality. Read that again in your mind. No one's opinion about you has authority over your reality. Not your parents' opinion, not your friends' opinion, not your colleagues' opinion, not society's opinion. No one. Zero. No person, alive or dead, has the right to define who you are or what you can become. Machiavelli wrote, "Where the will is great, difficulties decrease." But he also understood something deeper. Will is only truly great when it does not depend on external validation. This is what psychology calls an internal locus of control. People with an external locus of control believe their lives are determined by circumstances, luck, and the opinions of others. People with an internal locus of control believe they are the architects of their own reality. Research consistently shows that the second group achieves more, suffers less, and lives with greater purpose. Irrevocable sovereignty is the decision to never again outsource your self-worth. Never again hand over the keys of your fortress to someone who didn't lay a single brick of it. This is not arrogance. Arrogance is pretending to be more than you are. Sovereignty is knowing exactly what you are and refusing to negotiate that with anyone. From this moment on, you operate under a new internal constitution. Single article. I decide who I am. No one else. And that decision is irrevocable. It is not subject to vote. It is not penned to debate. It does not depend on consensus. You are the prince of your own territory, and princes do not ask for permission to rule. Conclusion. Let's recap what happened here. You came into this video believing that the lack of support was your problem. Now you know it was your opportunity. You learned to dismantle the illusion of support. You built an inner fortress. You learned to operate as a silent predator. You mastered the economy of energy. You understood the Phoenix effect. And you claimed irrevocable sovereignty over your own life. This is not motivation. Motivation is temporary. This is psychological architecture. This is permanent reprogramming. But I need to warn you. If you watched this video and do not act, nothing changes. Knowledge without execution is the illusion of progress. You will go back out into the world, and the same people will ignore you. The same doubts will attack you, and you will feel exactly the same as before you pressed play. Unless you decide right now that this ends, that you will no longer wait, that you will no longer ask, that you will no longer explain. You will simply go. If this video changed something in you, write, "I am sovereign" in the comments. Not for me, for you. Because declaring it out loud, even by typing, activates different neural circuits than just thinking. It is the first step toward execution. And if you want more content like this, subscribe to this channel. I don't promise cheap motivation. I promise surgical truth about power, psychology, and human nature. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, build in silence.